Hello and welcome to this video from Client Engager. My name is Johann, and in this video I'm going to be taking you through all the updates that are happening in the Client Engager product in and around the 12th of January 2023. There's absolutely tons of them, so many so I've had to upgrade my iPad from my iPad mini, where I normally make my little notes for these videos, onto my iPad Pro because there's absolutely tons of updates coming out this week. Lots of little fixes making the user experience better, but some key features as well. So without further ado, let's find out what's new in Client Engager in January the 12th, 2023. Okay, so our first update is a slight update to the widget for Client Portal users. This widget used to show everybody on Client Engager who could have been potentially having a portal. So that included your prospects, your active clients, and your archived clients that are no longer with you. So we've done some changes to the filtering here so that the widget only shows you which of your active clients are not invited to the client portal yet. So that just helps clear up a bit of black noise, as it were. So you're only looking at the information that's really relevant to you. Okay, our next update is just a slight user interface update. So normally when I clicked on the complete a job where there's a checklist involved, such as this one here, it would pop up with the checklist if the checklist wasn't completed. But now when we complete it, it comes up saying you need to complete your checklist. You press OK, and the checklist comes up for you to complete it. And then you'll be able to complete that and then complete the task. So just a bit of a user interface update there, but it just makes it a bit more obvious what you need to do. Okay, the next update is for a records location, which we added to our services field a couple of months ago. So you could tell each service where the records for that service were located. So if you've got a new staff member or something like that, they would be able to go into Client Engager without having to nag you saying, oh, where's the records kept for this client's VAT or this client's accounts? It now shows that information on the client overview. So we've got records located, not set. So that could say QuickBooks or something if it was set. The next update, and this came from one of our clients just the other day, they requested this kind of update to the user interface, and we've managed to roll it into this batch of updates we're doing today. And that is to split out our services on the client overview here to active and inactive. So basically, before this, we had a long list full of all the services, whether they were active or not. Now you can just see the detail behind the active services for each client when they're overview. And if you want to see the inactive services, you just press on the drop down box and you'll still be able to see that, and you'll still be able to see the audit trail if a service used to be active in that client and if there's any history with that client's service doing that. And then once you come out of it, it will automatically default back to being hidden. So that's a nice little tidy up of the overview page where you can see active versus inactive services nice and easily. Okay, one of the big feature updates in this video, which I've already done a bit of a sneak peek of this last week, is the e-signing feature. So if you want to have a look at how the e-signing feature works, by all means pop over to that video. I'll stick it into the link in the descriptions so you can see that, click on that video and go and have a look at it. But for now, the bit I want to update you on is the signing requests. This used to just be one long list of signing requests, but now, like everywhere else in Client Engager, you can filter it, organize it by date, by document name in alphabetical order, by the creator. So we've just added these filters to make organising the list and finding the document you're looking for a bit easier. Another update we've put into the e-signing before it's even hit public view yet is that when we used to press delete, it just deleted the document. Now if I try and press delete, it will confirm that I want to delete it, so I know exactly what I'm doing before I do it. Another update we've done in line with the e-signing release is the ability to now set permissions per user for file access, whether you want them to be able to create a folder, view a folder, upload a folder, delete a folder, whether you want them to be able to raise signing requests, delete them, etc. So there's a load of new permissions for users added into the permissions part. So it's really worthwhile if you've already got users on the system that you go in and make sure they've only got access to do what they want. And remember, it's got to be ticked for them to be able to do it. So if they've not got create a folder ticked, they're not going to be able to create folders in their files structure for you. So worth going through all your users quickly and having a look. Make sure you set the files and the signing request permissions as you want each user to have. That's a really important one to have a quick look at. In this update, we've also moved the download all button. So it's a little less obvious, but it's now under more. And then you can press download folder completely. Now, the reason we've done that is because we've got a lot more features coming for the folders and we don't want a huge long list of buttons along here. So we've got our download folder contents and we've got our more button so we can have a drop down list to make it a bit tidier. Also, when you download documents now, originally you just had all the documents in there in the folder structure you've got today on Client Engager. But for now we've got the e-signing feature. What will happen is you'll get your original document you sent to the client as a PDF downloaded, and you'll then get a separate PDF, which is the signed version. So you've got both the original and the signed one by the client in your folder structure when you download them from Client Engager and store them wherever else you want to store them instead of on the Client Engager portal. So it just makes it a bit easier to define and have the appropriate documents for the appropriate reasons. Another feature we've built into this update of features is the ability now to export data is still here. But what we've done is before now, when you exported the data, it didn't involve all the new custom fields that you can build out yourself and populate. These exports now include all custom fields that you've created and populated into this export. So you've got 100% of the data you've got in Client Engager exportable into the CSV file that you're going to create. And finally, in this update is one of the next big updates we've been working on. So in this update, we've had lots of little things, lots of user experience, lots of things dealt with based on client feedback. We've released e-signing, again, link to that video in the description. But we've now built the ability, thanks to Cresco, to send out standing order requests instead of just one-off payments. So if you go to your payments and you create new payment, you'll see all the same boxes as normal, but we now have the ability to create weekly or monthly standing orders. So you just click on these instead of a one-off, which is what we'd normally use up to this point. You can click on these and enter the first payment date. Now just make sure you read through the warning below. It's got to be within after 3 days because it takes time for the bank to set up and authorize the standing order. The first date cannot be on a weekend or a bank holiday. So if you were doing weekly, for example, I would choose maybe a Wednesday or a Thursday because they're never really bank holidays. But if you're doing monthly, just make sure the first payment's not on a bank holiday, otherwise the bank will reject it. But if you have any issues with this, do get in touch with us and we'll see what we can do working with our friends over at Cresco. But this hopefully means that you can help clients that have got fixed monthly bills. They can just pay a fixed monthly amount using a standing order, and that cuts out the payment charges from people like GoCardless, PayPal and stuff like that, just making a slight cost saving for you and your firm. So that's everything from Client Engager in this update. Absolutely loads of user interface updates in there. The team have been really busy putting together all of this, taking client feedback, taking our users' feedback and rolling out those updates to make sure the software is constantly working in the way that our users want it to work. As I say, any feedback whatsoever, please stick it in, and we look forward to updating you in the next video with even more feature updates coming soon. Thank you very much.